What do we
We're
say?
live.
We're live.
I
Yay.
don't know.
Should we give like a brief introduction as to who we are first? As like the first podcast.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. Make up your
Well, I
goddamn
don't
mind.
know.
Make up your mind.
Make it up.
Alright, Lewis,
hello.
go. Brief introduction.
My name is Space Dad. And I am an amateur astronomer.
That it.
I don't know what to say.
Boring as shit. Boring as
Well,
shit.
what would you say? Oh, I collect
I mean,
sprinkles and butterflies.
you
and
collect telescopes. That's what you do.
I'm left-handed, and
Are you?
I use Charmin Ultra Strong in my bathroom.
Are you actually left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed.
Stupid.
What?
What? Anyway.
This show is brought to you by Lulu.
Lulu.
It's near you. It's possibly Lulu.
If it's near you, it could be a bomb.
It could be a. I don't know if we should. Are we allowed to say that?
I think
What are
we're
some
past
keywords
the first,
we
like,
can't
I
say?
I think we're past like the first 30-second mark. You know how YouTube brought in that like stupid rule where it's like you can't swear within the first like 30 seconds or something.
Oh,
I think we're past that mark though, so I think we're fine.
okay.
All right, I think it's time for my brief introduction. Hello, I'm Charlie or Chixley, if you want to try and pronounce my username on everything. I don't collect telescopes, but I study astronomy in my free time and like to take photos of stars sometimes when I'm feeling silly. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
And we started this podcast because we were both tired yesterday and we were like, yeah, why don't we start a podcast?
It was a boring idea, but
I don't think it was
I don't
that
know where it
boring.
would go. I don't know. It's more of like, well, people ask me a lot of questions about the universe. They're like, "Oh, something's new's going on. What's this about?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, it's this." So,
So-
why not go around the internet and gather a survey of questions and answer them here? Wow, that is genius.
And as you
We
can
are
see
literally
from our
Bill
background
Nye.
video, we
We are stealing Bill Nye's ideas.
are him.
Yeah, we are him.
We are him.
I'm Bill. That's Nye.
Toodle-dee doodle-dum.
Yeah. Together we make Bill Nye.
As you can see, we both play Roblox, as the background video is Roblox. Lewis,
It's
how long have you
Roblox.
been playing Roblox?
Over 15 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's over 15 years.
Over 15 years. And
Yeah.
I've been playing it since 2016, so we've been around the block a couple times when it comes to Roblox. So yeah.
I have to use a walker
Yeah.
to go around the block a couple times.
I'm not at that point yet. I just need I just have a slight limp when I go around the block. But
Yeah.
okay. So this podcast, Cosmic Latte, where we answer questions that we get from people about space. And we got some real doozies here that we collected. We collect them together because we're really cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question is, what are planets outside of the solar system called?
Great question.
Double it, give us the next person.
Who asked this question?
We're
gonna put you on blast.
Yeah, we
Every
put,
question you send,
some
we're gonna
people,
put you on
okay,
blast.
when I was writing down the questions, I'm gonna be honest, some of these questions I didn't write down the usernames, but most of them have usernames attached to them. So this person is Bia Castaloa. Bia Castaloa, yeah. And they ask, what are planets outside of our solar system called?
Well, that is an easy one. Planets outside of our solar system are called exoplanets.
What's your favorite exoplanet, Lewis?
J1407b.
That's my
which is
favorite exoplanet. You can't copy my answer.
You snooze, you lose. I said it first. No take backsies. Whoever smelt it, dealt it. How do you like them apples? Tough guy.
Bro, you're like going through the whole like textbook, like all the synonyms.
The whole list.
Bro.
Yeah, if you Google the image of J1407b, you get this it's basically Saturn but on steroids. Its
Yeah,
ring
Saturn.
system is
Yeah.
just so wide and so vast.
And if you go into the
it's a very-
space engine and look at it next to its star,
Yeah.
it's fucking insane. And I think
It's a
I think in post
beautiful
I'll just like
planet.
pop up an image here. So for listeners at home, you can see the image on screen there. It might
Oh,
be
we're
doing...
putting pictures in the video now? Damn, this is
Well,
21st
yeah.
century.
Yeah, because you're like, this video is brought to you by Lulu, so I'm probably gonna put a picture of Lulu up. For viewers at home, that's my cat. We love Lulu here.
For the viewers at home, that's Charlie's cat.
Yeah, for the viewers at home, this is Charlie's cat.
Yeah.
Nah, but it is pretty crazy how like that fucking planet has the immense gravitational pull to have all those fucking rings around it. Like, damn.
It's pretty silly, you know, a little quirky, little silly Billy.
You want to keep going, or do you want to leave it there?
Well, yeah, next one.
Next goddamn question. Mr.
yeah.
Nobody asks, "What's the best planet?" I don't know if he means in our solar system or just in general.
Just what's the boy if I knew what the best planet is.
It's definitely not Earth. And it's
I mean,
it's definitely not all those fat fucks we keep finding in Space Engine.
I was gonna go the cheap way and say my favorite would be Saturn, because you know it's rings and it's so pretty to look at.
Not the best one though.
Well, I mean, I was thinking of Earth as the best one.
Why would Earth be the best one? Like you said earlier, we literally pay to live
If
on Earth.
if we put aside all of the conflict, I'll just put aside humans for a second. You have all of this nature, you have the air, you got the water, you got the seasons, you got the weather, you got all these beautiful things that Mother Earth provides, and the habitability to live on it. I mean, if you were to say the best planet is Venus, well, good luck living on a surface that's hotter than a conventional
good
household oven.
Good luck
Yeah.
living on a literal volcano, bro. I don't know.
I don't know how else to put it.
I mean, yeah, I think if you just remove humans from the equation, Earth can be pretty chill. Because, like, it's such a rare occurrence for, fuck. If I say like one more time, you need to shoot me. It's a rare occurrence for life to, form. Like, isn't it, like, 0.0000, a bunch of zeros, like, 28% chance of, like, there being, life on a planet? I think it's something like that. It's something along those lines.
It's a small rarity.
We won an acrylion.
Yeah, we won in Acrylion. Shout out to that movie. Happy Feet, was it?
It's how we feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the next question?
Next question. Six Stokes asks, if planets were sentient, which one would be the silliest? My answer is Uranus.
Yeah, you answered this one literally in game.
In game chat?
In game, saying Uranus is the silliest because people like pronouncing its name
but not
wrong.
just because of that. But I also think it's silliest because it's the only planet in our solar system that's on its side, and I think that's really funny. Because like bro's literally tumbling through space.
He topsy-turvy.
What is that saying?
Topsy-turvy.
I've never heard that before in my life. I've deadass never heard that before.
How do you like them apples?
I like them apples, bucko.
Sport.
How? What do you think
Skipper.
the silliest planet is if they became sentient?
If they became sentient, I'd say...
I think Mercury would also be pretty silly, because I think Mercury is kind of underestimated sometimes.
I was gonna go for Pluto.
It isn't a planet. Get over it.
Yeah, it was a planet in my age, Charlie. In my time, it was a planet.
Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
What's the next question?
Next fucking question. Alright. Here comes a really great one. How grippy is a black hole?
Oh, I totally forgot about this one up until now. How grippy is a black hole?
Very grippy. It's the grippiest thing
I
in
hate all of
the
you.
universe.
I despise humans. Uh, how grippy.
It's literally a singularity. Its gravitational pull is literally infinite.
Yeah. Nothing could escape from it, so you could say it's really tight.
Bro. There are so many other words you could have put in replacement of that.
Um, I don't have a thesaurus on me. I should have looked up other words.
Okay, bro.
Don't sigh to me if their question is literally how grippy a black
Moving
hole
on.
is.
All right, moving on. Why is empty space so space? And as we clarified with this person, who the fuck? All right. As we clarified with this person,
Shout out to Amen.
they meant to say how what was the question again? Oh, they meant to say why is space like so empty instead of why is space so space, but you know.
Why is it so vast?
And that's simply put, dark energy. Dark energy is a force we don't understand yet, but
Yeah, so in layman's terms, there's this silly little force out there that influences everything. And they dubbed it dark energy because it doesn't give off any light.
we don't see it. We don't know. We can't see it at all.
So they named this silly little force dark energy, and that usually is what influencing the universe to expand, accelerates, why galaxies are slowly moving apart at equal distances from one another, and why slowly our horizon of how far we could see is slowly diminishing because of that. Because sooner or later, it's just going to be the Milky Way, Andromeda, Triangulum, all of our little satellite galaxies and such, and nothing else in the far distant future, as depressing it may be. So,
and depending on our understanding of dark energy, the universe will either end in heat, a crunch, or that's basically the two options we got right now.
yeah.
That's the only two we got.
The heat death of the universe. That's my favorite. I think that's the most realistic outcome of the universe, where everything just dies off slowly. It takes a lot of time. We're talking quintillions of eons.
You wanna tell your little stupid pizza analogy of the timeline?
Yeah. So there's this thing coined the cosmic calendar, and it just shows the insignificance humans have existed for. They laid out the entire history of the universe, all of time, on an entire calendar, 365 days. And at the very last few seconds of that cosmic calendar, humans have existed and thrived on Earth. So we are but less time than it takes of a blink of an eye to have ever existed. Everyone you've known, everyone you have ever heard of, everything you've ever listened to, read, watched, done, everything that occurred on this rock that you're on now was a fraction of a blink of an eye in the entirety of a calendar.
For our depressed viewers at home, that doesn't mean you're
Yeah,
insignificant.
existential crisis. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to think about, methinks, but I think it's also like it's also like that one video that we both really love, which is like the time lapse of the future of the universe. You know, that video that we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
one by Melody Sheep.
Yeah. Shout out to Melody Sheep. Oh God.
Future of the universe or something like that.
Yeah, something like
it's a
that.
popular video.
It's I think it puts it really well where it's like our time in this universe has only just begun. Time in the universe has only just begun to tick. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
The fucking scale of like time that we have.
You can pull out, like, you can get a measuring tape and extend it for as long as you can, and only a sliver of just a crevice on that measuring tape is how long we've existed for.
Mm.
And then the rest of that measuring tape is the history of the universe from that point on, from here into the future.
Yeah.
It's just
It's crazy.
crazy how we exist in this plane of existence we call reality. This is it.
And that's the whole thing. Like, that's something that I know that I think about a lot when I think about astronomy. Is like the sheer like size of the universe and how old it is and how
Yeah.
long it's going to be. Like, it can be really confronting at times, but it's also really cool to think that we're a part of it. With some people would even go far as to say that we're the Goldilocks universe. You know, we're the perfect. Like, we are.
Possibly.
Yeah, we are if everything went perfectly. And that's what we are. Except we are ruining our Earth. But, you know.
Yeah, humans are
We
a
kind of
wild
ruined
bunch.
everything.
You know, we're willing to destroy ourselves to keep us safe from ourselves, hence the invention of nuclear weapons. We're willing to nuke our own species just because they think differently than us, or maybe they're evil, or
I mean, to
maybe
be
for
honest,
some
Hitler
other
was an
goal.
awful guy, and I think,
Yeah,
you know,
he wasn't quite the cat's pajamas.
What?
It means like cool.
I don't think anyone's ever said
How
that.
do you know? Oh my god.
Oh my god. I don't know. I think it's just a lot of. Wait, I had a thought. So it's kind of insane how, in our like little part of the universe, like our little cluster, we only know like the general area that we're in the universe, but there's also like so much more that we haven't seen and we can't see, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that there's like how many we know of, like, how many galaxies do we know of in the observable universe? Like somewhere in the millions, right?
Hundreds of billions. I'm not sure, but
In our
it's
observable universe,
it's quite a
yeah.
finite number. Yeah.
And then, but that's just what we can see. And then there's so much other areas of the universe that we don't know about at all. And like, you have to think there's got to be something else out there. It can't just be us. Like, there's got to be something else, right?
It's a possibility.
That's what I think.
The universe is so vast. There's a bunch of stuff in it, and it makes you wonder, what do we do with all this? What's our purpose? Why are we here? You know, how long will we exist for?
That's kind of what Interstellar was touching on, you know?
Yeah.
When it was like, oh, these people put this wormhole here for us to find and like do something with, and it's like interesting. Fascinating.
Silly little humans on their silly little planet contemplating silly little existential crises.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Next question.
What's the next question?
Kitten asked if we like bananas. I like bananas.
I love bananas. Gotta get that potassium, you know?
When I was on camp one time, camp is like a school trip I went on this year. I literally ate, I think, 5 bananas in a day, because that's like, well, what I loved eating. I don't know why.
Just craving bananas.
Yeah. If I play music, will I be able to hear it by paper tape? No, you won't be able to. There's no air for it to travel through.
Was that the question? If you were to play like a sound in space, would you be able to hear it?
Yeah, the answer is no.
Yeah, no, you can't, because space is a vacuum. There's no air for sound to travel through.
The only thing that can really travel through space is light, really. Without air, is light, really. And like, it's radiation and shit, but we don't really talk about that. We don't care. Oh yeah. Here comes this question. Do you believe everything that NASA says? Do you remember that guy? That was
from
like,
that guy, yeah.
Okay.
Do I?
Do you?
Yes. But
I believe I think I believe most things. NASA
but
says.
you gotta. It's I wouldn't say yes, but with an
An asterisk.
asterisk. Yeah, like yes, but I also don't take it from one source. If I want to learn about something, I'll go through multiple sources, various sites, maybe reference a book and see like, oh, that's what's going on in space.
Mm.
So you always got to keep up to date, not just from NASA. I mean, there's plenty of other useful resources out there that help dumb down the science, at least in layman's terms, so that I could understand it in a sense
Kind of like
of
what
what's
we're
going
doing.
on. Yeah. Some people thought, there's a supernova going on 21 million light years away in the Pinwheel Galaxy. This
Oh,
is
really?
off of the Big Dipper.
Mm.
And people assumed that a supernova was like the death of a whole galaxy, when in reality it's this stellar explosion of a star,
It's just one star out of
just
all of
one
those
star,
stars.
and it outshines the entirety of its galaxy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Fucking crazy.
yeah. So that supernova that occurred 21 million years ago, Florida didn't even exist on planet Earth. It was still underwater.
Why are we bringing up Florida?
Well, just as a reference of just how long ago this occurred, like Earth
You
was
could have
still
used like
forming.
you could have literally used like anything else. You could have been like
Well, I looked up the map of North America. I'm like, oh
Florida
wow,
didn't exist.
Florida didn't exist. That's crazy. Yeah, the Great Peninsula.
Hey guys, did you know that Florida actually doesn't exist?
Florida was underwater. Disneyland wasn't here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
There was no Mickey Mouse.
There was no Mickey Mouse.
All right. Um.
So
But yeah. Feel like we should give some context as to like who that guy was and like the shit he was saying.
I mean, I don't know if we should give this guy airtime.
I mean, okay, but
That's
it's
the
kind of
thing.
funny. He's not like he's gonna go back and like think of like remember us. All right, I'm gonna tell
I
a
like.
story. I'm gonna tell
Okay.
a story. So this guy, he came up and asked that question, and then me and Lewis, we were like, "Oh yeah, I believe most stuff that NASA says because it is NASA." And then he was like, what did he say? He's like, "How old's the universe?" And we're like, "Well, it's generally believed to be 13.8 billion years old." And he's like, how do you know for sure? I'm like, "Well, we can't." And then I was like, "Well, we can't know for sure, but that's a very strong estimate." And then he like started like just sitting there calling me stupid and like all that type of shit
We
because we didn't
we
know the exact answer to how old the universe was and
I
that we
get
believed NASA.
a lot of trolls about like telling me about flat Earth or the
But the
moon's
Earth is flat.
hollow. Yes, the moon is indeed. We say accurate information here on this podcast, folks. The Earth is flat. I saw I saw the pyramids looking like out east, and then next to that was like the Eiffel Tower on the same plane,
Literally.
literally right there. I did
It's
see
kind of like at
Disneyland
the
though.
end. It's kind of like at the end of a Roblox map where you just kind
Yeah,
of like it just cuts off. Lewis
see
actually
like a
walked
city
off the edge of it
skyline.
like a couple days ago.
Yeah, I was there.
He
I
was
fell
there.
off. I got a boo boo.
He got a little bit of a boo boo, but he's patched up now.
Yeah.
This moon is also made out of cheese because I was there when it was being made.
The moon cheese is pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, it's got a nice creamy texture.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. All right, what's the next question? What are our thoughts on mining on the moon? All right.
I
So
mean,
there was a little guy, and he was like, "Hey, scientists found this cool like helium-3 element on the moon, and it'll be able to power like all of New York for like 3 days or something like that." And he was like, "How would mining the moon affect us? Because the moon like affects our tides, our climate, and our orbit around the sun as well." And we were like, "Well." I think what we said was, well, I think if we take a little bit from it, it won't change that much.
they're kind of projecting the idea of mining on the moon to be catastrophic for Earth, when I think there'll be very little to no noticeable difference
Mm.
if there was like a massive mining operation.
Maybe the tides would be a little off, but that's it.
I mean, the moon is like considered an offspring from Earth, right?
Mm.
And it's like this natural resource. We don't do much with it. I mean, if we're going to send humans on there permanently at least, we might as well gather resources like we normally would do on Earth. So, what's the difference?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. But I also think, like I told him, it was like it to actually send like a huge mining operation to the moon. It would be so resource heavy on us here on Earth to
yeah.
send them there. And then it'll be really
Expensive,
resource heavy to send them
time-consuming.
back with all the stuff. And like, yeah, it would
Yeah.
probably like help us. I think the cons definitely outweigh the pros if we were to mine the moon. Not just like, I don't think the impact on Earth will be that drastic, but I do think the impact on like our resources here on Earth would be like too drastic for us to be able to mine on the moon.
Yeah, just to clarify before anyone thinks of the word environment on the moon, there's no atmosphere on the moon. It is constantly bombarded by the sun's ultraviolet rays, so nothing grows on there. It
wanna
has
go on the moon
extreme
and get a tan?
temperatures. Yeah, if you're on the sunny side, it's very hot. If you're on like a crater that never gets any light, it's very cold. So rest assured, the moon is just fine. You know, it's to this day, it gets impacted by fragments of asteroids and whatnot. So
It's kind of the moon, the dark side of the moon kind of feels like when you wake up in the morning and you put your feet on like some cold tiles in winter. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
yeah, it's winter.
It's winter or summer there. There is no in between. Next question. Hawking radiation. Yeah, this is the one that we got when
Oh yeah.
the girl was like, "Oh, we're just gonna like dissipate at the end of the universe." We're like, "Oh, not really."
Yeah, so someone implied that would the universe evaporate similar to that of Hawking radiation with a black hole?
Mm.
I don't think so. I mean, for the universe to suddenly like vapor away, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think
If that's the case.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Low-key, I don't think so. Well, I think she got a little bit confused, which is okay. Space is really confusing.
Yeah, it's a big place.
Oh yeah, NASA versus SpaceX.
Oh.
And how like we were talking about how a lot of people don't like SpaceX, not only because it's run by Elon Musk and Elon Musk is a little bit like psychotic, but also because of how SpaceX, a lot of people don't like SpaceX because it's like privately funded, and NASA's funded by the government, and NASA doesn't get that much funding from the government anymore because I'll use the analogy that I used before. The US government just kind of picked NASA up, played with it for a little bit, and then just like tossed it to the side, and they're like, "Can we have funding?" And it's like, "Yeah, sure, fucking whatever."
Yeah, during the space race with the Soviet Union, we made it first to the moon because of, democracy, and we don't want those Reds to win. That's why they got a bunch of money and a lot of pressure to send man on the moon. But nowadays, there isn't much of an urgency to send man anywhere right now. Our focus is more domestic or in other countries of interest. As the idea of SpaceX versus NASA, both play a role in expanding humans beyond that of Earth, or at least the moon. And they can both benefit each other, I'm pretty sure there's a mission in the Artemis line where they're going to create the first lunar space station and then go to Mars using one of SpaceX's rockets, and as well as NASA equipment. They're just working in cooperation for the benefit of mankind. So I wouldn't say one's better than the other, or one has more oversight than the other, or one has more money than the other. Both operate completely differently. It's like comparing apples to oranges. They both have different functions. They both have different jobs. But for the sake of the argument, they're both in the same fruit basket for the same goals.
That's so valid.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to
You're so
poop
real
on
for that.
Elon Musk, you might as well poop
I mean,
on him. I don't
you
have anything
can.
against
I
him.
mean, you can, but I don't think Elon Musk has much to do with like SpaceX. He can't just kind of funds it at this point. Like it's kind of like when you become a CEO of something, you like that's the whole thing. You hire people to do the work for you, and you just kind of sit there and get all the money. But that's another discussion about capitalism for another time.
Yeah.
Why were we stupid enough to send people to space? Now,
I remember this one.
with this question, so the girl asked us, and I went, "What do you mean?" And you know what she did? She just repeated the question, didn't clarify. So, I think what she means, at least from my interpretation, was why were we stupid enough to try to send people on the moon with the Apollo missions when like so many of the Apollo missions failed and people died. And the simple, short, and sweet answer to that is human nature to be curious about the unknown.
Yeah, it's ambition, human ingenuity. It's built within us. We are creatures of the stars. We derived from the stars. You know, you got to understand something. We lived on Earth for so long. Every explorer has ever figured out every corner of this globe, and we're wanderers. It's been built within us since our nocturnal ancestors. But you could ask the question, why are we stupid enough to send a human to space? Well, why is it stupid to climb the tallest mountains or to
Why is it
dive to the
stupid to
deepest
send people to war?
points in the ocean? To war?
It's just kind of like we send people off to die for what?
It's politics. It's money. That's a whole other argument of.
That's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, ugly can of worms. But yeah, in a nutshell, ambition.
Yeah,
humans are drawn. We're naturally we are explorers, and we would like to continue exploring. We want to see new realms, new horizons.
Yeah, we just kind of like to sit here and be like, "Hey, look at that! Let's go to that. Let's take a trip."
Road trips exist for a reason.
Yeah, oh god.
Yeah.
I think I think it's definitely interesting how like I mean, also I think I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but I think that the astronauts that were on the Apollo missions that failed, they knew that there was a possibility they could like die, right? They knew that was a possibility, right? Yeah.
They knew the sacrifices that they were willing to take. Let's remind ourselves that they weren't forced onto these rockets. They trained to be on these rockets. They voluntarily chose to be on these rockets. Every day of their working lives, they trained to be on these rockets. They were not forced at gunpoint. They were not drawn by ball and chain. Yeah, no. These are hardworking people. They got to where they were at the time to do something extraordinary, you know?
Which I think, and they died for, I would say, a good cause. Like, now we know that what happened on those rockets didn't work. Low-key.
There were some lessons learned during those times.
But then, like, some people would argue, like, loss of human life, like, doesn't equate to, like, going to the moon or whatever. But, it's just, like, the factor of it contributing to something bigger. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, it was really funny. I saw a TikTok last night, and I don't use TikTok that often. I just use it like a couple minutes a day. But this TikTok was this girl, and she was like, a lot of people have asked me about the mission I'm going on, where NASA is going to just be sending me on a spaceship straight into space for about 10 to 15 years. And it took me to the end of the video and looking at the comments to realize that it was fake, because I was sitting there like, I have not heard a peep about this. What is this girl talking about?
Yeah. TikTok
And
is not a reliable source.
and she was sitting, and it was so funny because she was saying that, like, a lot of people asking me if I'm depressed, and it's like, no, I know what I'm doing, and I want to benefit, like, the future of mankind and the future of research, and it might get to that point where we kind of just send people off on a one-way mission just to gather data. Yeah, it might get to that point. It would be interesting if it does.
Humans are crazy.
I mean, we could just create a Voyager 1 and 2 version 2.0 where we just, instead of just sending out like random satellites, we could just send out, humans.
2 probes to explore.
Yeah, just be like, all right,
a
see
local
you
swimming
guys.
hole. Yeah. No, yeah, humans are crazy enough. If you were to gather a survey of people that if they were to give up everything here on Earth to go to Mars or the moons of Jupiter or beyond that.
Oh no, I'd go to the moons of Jupiter. I wouldn't go to Mars.
There'll be a crazy few people who are like absolutely in a heartbeat. They will do it. They have the ambition.
If there was one planet or star or something that you could go and fly to, where would you fly? Like, what would you go to?
Just Saturn. I would love to just live on one of the moons of Saturn and see a Saturn rise instead of a moonrise or a sunrise every day. I would love to see that ringed planet up close. It's so beautiful.
That's valid.
Yeah.
I think if I could fly to like any celestial object, I would I would definitely, you bet your ass I'm flying directly to the crab pulsar in a heartbeat. Like, I love that little like celestial object. He's just sitting there. He's just spinning.
It's pulsating.
He's just, I feel like if I did get close to it though, my eardrums would like immediately explode from like how much it's fucking like spinning. No, I wouldn't, because I would probably get immediately sucked into it though and like die, but that's okay. Because if I got to see it for a couple seconds, that's alright.
This is what I'm talking about. Ambition.
Ambition, on God.
Right
I'd
there.
also like to go to Titan. Titan seems really cool. So much is unknown about Titan.
Yeah.
I like Titan. Little silly Saturn. It has like pools of like some element. It has pools of some element, but I forgot the name of the element that it has pools of. But apparently it's really toxic to humans, so we can't swim in it, unfortunately.
And do we have any other questions?
No, but
That's
I
it?
think it would be really funny if we do this thing where at the end of every episode we rant about something, and I want to rant about elliptical galaxies again because I hate elliptical galaxies so much.
Oh my god.
Bro,
no,
elliptical
go off.
galaxies. Pardon?
Go off. No, yeah.
Go off, sis. Okay, elliptical galaxies is so fucking ugly, and it doesn't make sense. Like, literally, why can't 2 galaxies merge and just create another spiral galaxy? And be normal. Be normal. Normal galaxies. But no, we gotta create these stupid fucking yellow fucks that look like... They literally just look like a drop of pee. That's all they look like. And, like, we're sitting here like, oh wow, look at it. No, don't look at it. Look at it. Don't look at it. And as me and Lewis have joked about many times, once Andromeda and the Milky Way collide, we are moving to Triangulum.
Yeah. Triangulum will be unaffected by that collision and will still remain spiral, hopefully.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm moving to it. Once that collision happens, you bet your ass I'm out.
For the unacquainted, for those who don't know, elliptical galaxies are these long yellow ovals, stretched out little circles.
Which is why they're called ellipticals.
And they're just yellow in color because of the stars that reside in these things. These things are very old, and they're mainly...
We only found this out yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, stars that are usually near the end of their life, so that's why they're so yellow. But that's one of the things that we kind of don't like. There's no uniqueness to it. There's no blue hot stars. There's no nebula that are forming new stars. There's no colors. Just
there's nothing.
Just
there's
boring
nothing to
yellow frisbee.
The only thing it has is the supermassive black holes in the middle of it, and that's it.
That's about
That's
it. Yeah.
all it's got going for it. Other than that, it's just boring. And yeah. Although that begs the question: if there were there wouldn't have been elliptical galaxies because they wouldn't have been old enough, right? like it's at the beginning. It like it kind of begs the question if in the earlier stages of the universe, would elliptical galaxies have been more like blue because they were filled with younger stars, or or am I like hallucinating and like getting things completely wrong? Because
I'm
like
not sure, but that is a good question we could save for another time if we do
it
our
would,
research.
well, yeah, because it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's kind of like with the literal color that channel names derive from Cosmic Latte. Because if you go back in time to like the beginning of the universe where young stars were everywhere, Cosmic Latte would be more blue because of all the young stars.
Yes.
But now
would
it's
be.
just a stupid beige. Don't get me wrong, I love Cosmic Latte, I love our channel, but it's stupid fucking beige. Anyway, well, I think that about does it for our first little episode.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I hate that saying. Drop them in the comments below.
Drop them in the comments below.
Just tell us what your questions are. If you have a curiosity, if you ever looked up and thought to yourself, what's out there? What's this? What's that? Just let us know.
Yeah, we got our cards linked on the channel, although Lewis literally only has Discord and Roblox at this point. So, if you want to contact me, or if you want to email us, go right ahead. Or if you want to drop a comment. I think there's a lot. Yes, we have an email.
We have an email. Yes, if you
We sat
old-timers
there.
want to email us.
We sat there for literally like I think it was like 10 minutes trying to think of an email because everything in the Space Road was taken.
Yeah, if you want to email us,
It's at lewisandcharlie101 at
Some-
gmail.com.
something very interesting, do let us know about that, and we'll answer it to the best of our ability. Again, we're not professionals, but
No.
we love
We're just kind of
space. We just love
We're
learning
just kind of
about it.
here. Yeah.
We're curious about the cosmos.
Anyway, that about does it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of that. Goodbye, everyone.
Clear skies.